GLP-1s can be life-changing. They can also quietly steal your muscle, unless you use this playbook. And if you're over 40, that matters, because losing muscle and bone isn't just cosmetic. It's strength, metabolism, balance, and independence. So today is GLP-1s and AMP, Longevity 2.0, how to lose fat without losing muscle and bone. We'll cover protein targets, resistance training minimums, smart monitoring, and the exact red flags that tell you you're losing the wrong kind of weight. No judgment, no hype, just a practical plan you can actually follow. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth most people don't get told. A meaningful portion of GLP-1 weight loss can be lean mass. Not all muscle, but lean mass, muscle, organ tissue, and water, and for many people, the lean portion is big enough to matter. In semaglutide step data, analyses have reported lean mass losses around the roughly 40% of total weight lost range. With tirzepatide SURMOUNT DXA data, the lean portion is often reported closer to about 25% of weight lost on average, but because total weight loss is bigger, the absolute lean mass loss can still be significant. Translation: you can be thrilled with the scale number and still be quietly trading away muscle. And the scale will not warn you. Your body will warn you later, when stairs feel harder and your strength stops moving. Now, quick clarity so nobody panics. Lean mass loss doesn't mean you lost 40% pure muscle fiber. Early on, some of that is water and glycogen changes, especially as appetite drops and food volume shifts. But over months, if you don't provide an anabolic signal and enough protein, real muscle loss is absolutely on the table. And muscle after 40 isn't a luxury. It's metabolic insurance. It's glucose disposal capacity. It's joint support. It's full resilience. It's also one of the best predictors of whether you stay active, stable, and independent as you age. Bone is the same story. Rapid weight loss, drug or diet, tends to reduce mechanical loading. Your skeleton adapts to what it has to carry. If the load drops and there's no resistance training or impact stimulus, bone density can drift in the wrong direction, especially at the hip. So the goal isn't lose weight. The goal is lose fat while preserving the tissues that keep you young. That's the whole longevity compass angle. Pro-smart GLP-1, not anti-GLP-1. Here's the core model. GLP-1s reduce appetite. Appetite reduction creates a calorie deficit. A calorie deficit without a muscle signal and protein usually means you lose a mix of fat and lean mass. These drugs do not automatically protect muscle. They don't magically turn your deficit into fat-only loss. Body composition outcomes depend heavily on lifestyle inputs, protein, lifting, and how aggressively you cut calories. So here is the playbook. 4 pillars: protein anchor, resistance training minimum, bone loading, and monitoring. If you do these 4 things, you dramatically increase the odds that the weight you lose is the weight you actually wanted to lose. Pillar 1. Protein is non-negotiable. The biggest GLP-1 muscle loss mistake is simple. Appetite drops, and protein drops with it. Most people accidentally bias toward easy foods when appetite is low: toast, crackers, small snacks, soup, a little fruit. Those are not bad foods. They're just not enough protein to protect lean mass during aggressive fat loss. A practical target during GLP-1 weight loss for a 40-plus audience is usually in the 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram per day range, with the upper end more relevant when you're losing weight quickly, older, or lifting hard. If you want a simple LC default, aim for about 1.6 grams per kilogram per day based on goal weight, then adjust based on tolerance and clinician guidance. Example: if your goal weight is 180 pounds, that's about 82 kilograms. A practical protein target becomes roughly 130 grams per day, and for some people it may be closer to 150 to 165 if they're training seriously and tolerating food well. Now here's the part that makes this doable. You don't need perfect macros. You need protein distribution. Aim for 25 to 40 grams per meal, and treat protein like a prescription. It happens even when appetite is low. If you can't eat much, use the protein first calorie rule. The first thing you eat is protein. A shake, Greek yogurt, eggs, cottage cheese, lean meat, tofu, something high protein that doesn't require you to be hungry. And if you're thinking, I can't eat that much, perfect, use liquid protein strategically. A whey isolate shake is often the easiest way to hit protein targets when GLP-1 appetite suppression is strong. This is not a moral failure. It's a tool. Pillar 2. Resistance training is the muscle-saving lever. This is not optional. This is the tax you pay to keep your body young while you lose fat. The minimum effective dose is 2 full body sessions per week. That's the floor. If you can do 3 sessions, even better, but 2 done consistently will protect far more muscle than cardio and vibes. Your training doesn't have to be fancy. It has to be progressive. Squat or leg press, hinge pattern like RDL or trap bar, a push, a pull, and loaded carries. Focus on controlled reps, good form, and gradual progression. If you're new or returning, keep reps in the 6 to 15 range and build to about 10 to 20 hard sets per muscle group per week over time. If you're already trained, keep chasing strength in the basics. Strength maintenance during weight loss is a huge signal that you're preserving muscle. Here's the simplest rule. If your strength is steadily dropping, you're losing muscle. If your strength is stable or improving while weight drops, you're protecting lean mass. Your muscles don't care what the scale says. They care what the bar says. Now, cardio. Cardio is great for healthspan, but on GLP-1s the order matters. Lift first, cardio second. Because the fastest way to lose muscle is to stack a big deficit with lots of cardio and not enough protein. If your appetite is already low, you don't need to earn food. You need to protect tissue. So do your daily movement. Steps matter. Aim for 8 to 10k steps if possible, and add some zone 2 if recovery allows. But don't turn this into an endurance event while you're under eating. We want fat loss with resilience, not fat loss with fragility. Pillar 3. Bone protection. Bone loss isn't guaranteed, but it is predictable when people lose a lot of weight without loading the skeleton. The best bone-preserving signals are heavy resistance training, loaded carries, stair work, step downs, and some impact training if joints tolerate it. If impact isn't appropriate, weighted vest walking can be a strong middle ground. Nutrition matters too. Aim for adequate calcium intake, often around 1000 to 1200 milligrams per day from food first, and maintain vitamin D sufficiency. You're not trying to megads. You're trying to stay in a healthy range so bone remodeling has what it needs. And one more bone-friendly move: don't crash diet. The faster and more aggressive your deficit, the harder it is to hit protein and micronutrient targets, and the more likely you are to lose lean mass. GLP-1 success is not lowest calories possible. It's lowest calories you can sustain while preserving strength. Pillar 4. Monitoring. This is where smart GLP-1 users separate themselves from scale-only users. Once per month, track 3 categories: body composition, strength, and bone risk signals. If you can do a DXA, that's the gold standard for fat and lean mass, and it also gives you bone density. If you can't, a decent BIA scale can still be a trend tool, just don't treat it as gospel. Here's a simple red flag threshold. If more than about 30% of your weight loss appears to be lean mass over time, you need to adjust immediately. That usually means more protein, more lifting, and a slightly less aggressive deficit. For strength, track a few anchor moves: leg press or squat, a row, and grip strength if you can. If your lifts are sliding and your energy is dropping, it's often underfueling plus underproteining. For bone, watch for rapid weight loss, low protein, low calcium intake, and no loading stimulus. If you're postmenopausal or 50 plus, bone protection deserves extra attention. It's much easier to preserve bone than rebuild it. Now let's hit the common mistakes, because these are painfully predictable. Mistake 1. Appetite drops and protein disappears. People eat less, but don't prioritize protein, and muscle loss follows. Mistake 2. Overdoing cardio and underdoing lifting, because cardio feels like burning fat, while lifting feels like slow progress. The opposite is usually true for longevity. Mistake 3. Not tracking strength. You track your scale weight daily but never track a single lift. That's like tracking your bank balance but not your spending. Mistake 4. Staying in a deep deficit too long. You lose fast, then regain, and the regain is mostly fat because muscle was sacrificed. Mistake 5. Ignoring nausea and dehydration. If you're not eating much, hydration and electrolytes become more important, not less. Dehydration makes fatigue worse, workouts worse, and cravings weirder. So here's the simple GLP-1 longevity protocol you can start this week. Step 1. Set a protein anchor. 2 protein defaults every day, like a shake and a high-protein meal, before anything else. If appetite is low, use liquid protein and softer foods that are easy to digest. Step 2. Lift twice per week no matter what. If you only do one thing, do this. Protecting lean mass is protecting your future metabolism. Step 3. Walk daily. Steps are the easiest fat loss support that doesn't steal recovery. And if you add zone 2, keep it sustainable. Step 4. Reassess monthly with body composition trends and strength. If lean loss is too high or strength is falling, increase protein, increase lifting quality, and reduce the aggressiveness of the deficit. Here's the truth that ties this whole episode together. Fat loss without muscle protection accelerates aging. Fat loss with muscle preservation slows it. GLP-1s can be incredible tools. But the tool isn't the plan. The plan is protein, lifting, loading, and monitoring. If this helped, hit like and subscribe. Check the description for tools that match today's episode, protein and training supports, monitoring options, and our Longevity Compass Amazon KDP book. And if you're on GLP-1s, remember, the goal isn't just to be lighter. It's to be lighter and stronger.